everyone. Thanks for being here with us on this Friday. Here with Ryan and Hunter, I'm Briggs, and this is Northern Life. It's hard to say that without singing it like Hunter does.
I know.
This is Northern Life. Yeah, it's hard.
Thank you for singing it. If I would have, I don't think people would have appreciated that.
My dad's good friend is watching us from Chicago, so big thanks to Frank for tuning in. And Frank goes, it's a problem that I'm on the downtown streets of Chicago, and I have a song about like the Northwoods in my head. So people are looking at me kind of funny.
Yeah, it doesn't really match.
Chicago's kind of the Northland. It's in the northern portions of the United States. Yeah. Maybe, I don't know.
What matters is the vibe.
Yeah, he's feeling the vibe.
Yeah, he's feeling it.
It's all a mindset. It is. Coming up today, we have a really nice Top 5 Friday to share. We're going to discuss our favorite pieces of advice that we've ever received.
Aww.
Very cool.
Super excited to share that. And with college football coming up tomorrow, we're breaking down a new list of some of the top live animal mascots in the NCAA.
Ooh.
Some super cute, some not so cute.
Terrifying at that.
Terrifying.
Yeah.
We'll let you be the judge.
You're going to have to wait and see. Okay, since it is Friday, we also have to talk about our current NFL football standings.
Okay.
Because I think I'm still in last. I have not recovered
You're still losing
yet.
to a dog.
And guess what? Harry, I believe, is tied at the top.
Whoa!
Harry and Hunter right up there.
Double
Oh my
H.
gosh, yeah.
Let's go. 6-4. Did anybody pick what was going to happen this past week? I don't think anybody got it exactly right.
I think we all went 1-1. Harry almost went 2-0. He picked the Raiders.
Okay.
But then he picked the Vikings to beat the Chiefs. So yeah, he almost got it.
Yeah, almost. Hopefully we'll have better luck this week. Here's our picks that we're looking at. The Packers are on a bye week, so we're only going to be guessing for the Vikings and Bears matchup. That one's happening in Chicago. I've lost faith, as I see Ryan has as well.
Wow.
Jumping off the Viking ship. The Vikings just don't have much to play for unless if they have a tough schedule ahead for some games. But the Bears, they got to win because I think they gave away their first round pick to Carolina.
Oh, really?
So I don't think they have a first rounder this year. So the
they
Bears
have to play.
Yeah, so they need to make sure that they don't give the Panthers a good pick.
Okay.
I believe.
Interesting.
And the Vikings don't have Justin Jefferson, right?
That is
for
true.
like the next month or so.
Yeah. Is TJ back?
Stressful.
TJ's back this week, right? TJ Hawkinson or whatever?
I'm not sure.
I think he is.
Yeah.
I want to say he is. But we could totally lose against the Bears very easily. We have the same exact record, but I've got some faith in my Vikings. Let's see what happens
All
here.
right, Hunter.
Hopefully that's what happens. We'll see.
Well, here's what Harry had to say. We did our picks a different way. We went outside, see if that could, change things up. He always goes to the right. This time, he went to his left. He actually picked the Bears.
Wow.
That is a bear beanie baby. Please ignore that he's holding a tennis racket. I only had a tennis bear. But yeah, he went to the bear first. So I think Harry, too, is a little lost with the rest of the Vikings faithful.
So either I pull out the lead or Harry pulls out the lead. This is what's going to happen here.
True,
This
a
is
separator.
Okay.
Harry and I also made a little mistake this morning. We picked the Vikings and the Packers. I had a whole thing coming up in my mind because I thought the Packers played this weekend on Sunday. I thought they were going to face the Broncos. So I had Harry pick. I was like, okay, Harry, you can only pick either the Vikings are going to win or the Packers are going to win. And I told him, then the other team automatically loses in your mind. So we picked with the two jerseys, and he thought the Vikings would win over
Wow.
But it doesn't really make sense. The 29th, though, of October is, I believe, when those two teams actually play
really?
each other, the Vikings
Right.
and the Packers. So
That'd be an interesting game.
It will be. It will be interesting to see because the Vikings and the Bears is their first division game this
believe
weekend,
so.
right, for the Vikings at least.
Okay.
So, and I think the Packers already lost to the Lions.
Did they?
Yes.
You're right, they did.
I think they did.
Oh, the Lions.
Yeah.
Talk about the Lions, man. Let's go.
Harry was just super smart. He knew which team was playing this week.
Yeah.
He knew the Vikings were
Unlike his
playing.
mom. Yeah, he's like, come on.
Packers can't lose.
He's got the ESPN app. He's ready.
Yep.
Okay, after the Twins sadly lost earlier this week, I think a lot of us sports fans would be willing to do all sorts of things to see another championship come to our city or come to our state. And so according to Experian, a new survey found 1 in 5 football fans, diehard football fans, would take on $5,000 in debt in order to help their team win a championship. They also found people spend on average about $750 this season on football-related expenses.
I could see the second part being true. $750, that's reasonable. Maybe it's reasonable. But $5,000 of debt, 20% of people saying that's pretty insane. I'd never do that.
Why would I go into debt to help people who make millions and millions of dollars?
Exactly.
You're a diehard fan.
Yeah.
The only reason I would go into debt and watch the Vikings win a championship would be for my friends who are Packers fans to stop saying, like, we got titles and you
Exactly.
don't.
Yep.
That would be the reason I would go into
And
debt.
it'd be worth $5,000 for you?
Hopefully it's a loan over a long period of time.
Would you guys go any higher than $5,000, or would that be like the max?
I think 5's probably the cap.
Is there a $200 option? Because I'd take that option. Whatever the lesser amount is, because I'm not doing $5,000.
Is there a firm handshake option?
Yeah, hey, good luck.
Sure. Oh man, I'm glad it's Friday. I don't know about you guys,
yes.
but I'm heading down to Rochester, Minnesota this weekend.
Oh, for the competition?
Doing a CrossFit competition. Yeah, it sounds intense. It's really not. Me and my friends are on a team. We just thought it would be fun. My husband Matt owns a gym. That's kind of why we've got into it. But yeah, we'll see how we do.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, there's about 11 other teams in our division.
Jeez.
Yeah, I know. It's teams of all women, so it'll be cool to go up against.
What's like the exercises? I know they have certain exercises in a row. A lot of pull-ups, push-ups.
Yeah, so there's, I think, 5 separate workouts or events that they have us doing between Saturday and Sunday. So you don't get much rest in between. It's kind of intense.
That sounds very intense.
Yeah, I'm excited. You guys got any fun plans?
Probably laying on the couch for the most part. Not necessarily doing much exercise. Hopefully some exercise.
Okay.
Probably going to go down to see my parents, see my sisters. I haven't seen them in a long time. Been kind of busy with this and that and the other. So happy to see mom and dad this weekend.
For the first weekend in, I want to say, months, we have nothing going on this weekend.
Nice.
So soaking in the laziness, probably going to do a little bird hunting at some point in time, maybe a little fishing and pull out the pontoon. We'll see what happens this week.
Yeah, true. You got to get that out of the water.
That's true. Going to freeze here very soon.
Sounds like fun. Well, coming up, we meet the most awesome live animal mascots in college sports, plus a look back on our own mascots from college and high school. Well, we've got college football teams gearing up for another busy Saturday on the gridiron, and in some cases, so are their mascots. Well, you of course have the characters in the costumes that dance around on the sidelines and hype people up. Many college teams also have live animal versions of their mascots too, with some pretty crazy stories behind them, as I found out. The online company Oddseeker decided to rank them by who has the biggest following. So here are a few of our top favorites on that list. We are going to start things off at Yale University with the cutest boy. His name is Handsome Dan. Yeah, I know, right? He's a bulldog who gets to march across the field before every home football game. That tradition started back in the early 1890s when a football player adopted a bulldog from a local blacksmith and then started bringing him to the games. When that team member graduated, he told his brother, who also went to the school, that he needed to care for Handsome Dan, and then he became a mainstay on campus. He's so cute. To this day, there have been 19 Handsome Dans in total.
Oh, that's
That is
so
amazing.
sweet. Yeah, anytime you have a dog, it's a winner. That's how it goes, you know?
Go
Handsome.
Bulldogs too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been to the Yale campus with my father, and it is stunning. The
Is it
history is quite something. So I believe in Connecticut.
Okay.
So if you get a chance on the East Coast, definitely check it out.
Wow.
Next, we're heading south. Actually, we have one more dog before we get to some more wild mascots. This is Reveille, also known as Miss Rev. She's a collie and the mascot for Texas A&M. Her story goes back to 1931 when a group of cadets at the school hit a dog with their car and brought her to campus to care for her. Now, every year, a new sophomore cadet is assigned to care for Miss Rev and bring her everywhere. That includes class and those football games. As for the Miss Revs, who are no longer with us, they are buried north of Kyle Field with their heads pointed towards the stadium. That way they can always watch the Aggies outscore their football opponents.
That's the sad part about with these live mascots is they can't live forever, you know, but it's cool that they honor the old ones in that kind of way. That's super cool.
If I would have known about Miss Rev, I would have gone to Texas A&M. I would have cared for Miss Rev for the rest of my life.
Love collies. Love collies.
She is so cute. Well, staying in Texas, we've got Bevo, the Longhorn. He represents the University of Texas at Austin, who, of course, they're the Longhorns. He made his first appearance at a football game on Thanksgiving Day in 1916. But these days, Bevo the 16th appears on the field before every football game. The Silver Spurs are a student group that's tasked with caring for Bevo, and they take him to all the away games too and public appearances off campus. According to the university, he's actually the most charitable mascot in the country because his appearances bring in enough money to fund scholarships for kids at the school. I know, and this is pretty neat. Our very own morning anchor, Paul Brown, actually got the chance to see Bevo. He went to a game there once, and that's Paul and Bevo right there. Isn't that funny?
I like like that he stood just far enough away so that he can't shove his horn in his. Yeah, that's just not good.
I think Paul said 95 or 96.
Oh,
so
wow.
big throwback.
Man.
So thanks to Paul for sending that over.
Old school Paul.
Yeah, he was like, I'll dig around for it at home. And then, just a few hours later, he had it for me. I was like, oh, what a guy.
It's like Hunter with his basketball picks.
Right away.
Let's wrap things up in Colorado. They have their own wild mascot in Boulder, where the university boasts an actual buffalo. Her name is Ralphie. Ralphie sprints across the field before games and at halftime with students who volunteer their time running alongside her. The university funds the students as they learn how to properly care for Ralphie. And Ralphie's everyday home is kept a secret in order for her protection.
Can I just say how impressive it is that they can run as fast as that?
Right?
It's a bison, you said? Buffalo?
Buffalo,
That's very impressive. That's fast, man. Whoa.
Also a beautiful campus, the campus at Boulder, Colorado. Stunning area. And I tried to do some research to see your guys' old mascots.
Okay.
And so I have a crazy one from my high school as well. But let's start with Briggs.
Okay.
Going out to St. Thomas with, I believe, Tommy here.
Tommy the Tomcat, yeah. There was no live animal version of Tommy, no kitty running around or anything. But I always thought he was pretty cute. I liked the mascot at St. Thomas. He wasn't a big, a huge part of the campus identity or anything. Not like, maybe a Texas A&M Longhorn or at the Austin campus.
Sure, yeah.
But yeah, he was cute.
Interesting.
Fluffy,
Okay.
yeah. Hunter, did you? I don't think you knew, but St. Cloud's mascot actually has a name. His name is Blizzard T. Husky. You didn't know that?
I knew that we had a Husky as a mascot. We are the Huskies, but I did not know that his name was Blizzard T. Husky. What does T stand for? I have no idea. Why is there a T?
I was relying on you for that information.
T is for trophy or something like that.
There you go.
I have no idea, but interesting.
Titles.
Yeah.
T stands for time to figure out what my middle name is.
Whoa! Brian, let me get this straight. Yours is it a leaf?
My high school, shout out Maple Grove Senior High. This is actually my classmate Charlie Rash from way back when, so probably like 2013 or 2014. We are the Maple Grove Crimson, and our mascot is a leaf, and so the mascot's name is Leafy.
So some guy dresses up in a leaf and runs around the game?
Yeah, so not necessarily quite intimidating as a buffalo or a longhorn.
But when the winds get going, I mean,
Look out!
We're gonna bury you in a pile of leaves. Yeah. So that's how the game's gonna go. So
Did you guys lose a lot of games?
we did all right for ourselves.
Okay.
Yeah, I was more focused on the theater department as opposed to
We all were.
our sporting events.
Yep.
But a lot of fun looking back at those.
Yeah.
Hey, still ahead. We're getting cozy and inspirational on this fall day, talking about the best advice we've received from others. Can't wait to share it here on Northern Life. Welcome back, everybody. We are excited to bring you another Top 5 Friday, and this one kind of came to me this morning as I was looking for a little motivation to get out of bed.
Okay.
So we're going to be talking about the top 5 pieces of advice, the best pieces of advice we have ever received. And so I can start with mine. I actually forgot to print out my sheet, so I'm going to need Seth's help. I can't remember what number 1 is. Oh, everything is going to be okay. I think that's super important for everybody to know, whether you're stressed out about this, stressed out about that. I think everything is just going to kind of figure itself out.
Yeah, that's sweet.
It's important to keep remembering. And Seth, I'm terribly sorry. I need that list. I got short-term memory. And you can do anything. That was a big piece of advice from my professor, Tom Isbell at UMD. I was like, I have a theater degree. I don't know what I'm going to do after I graduate. And he goes, Ryan, we have doctors, we have this and that, we have lawyers that graduate from this department, so you're gonna be fine.
Wow.
So that was a great piece of advice. And always show appreciation, especially when it comes to coworkers. And then the last 2 are kind of conflict. So one is enjoy the moment, be present, be where you are. And then the number 5 actually kind of comes from Briggs LaSavage from the Duluth Pack, look where you want to be, not where you are.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I've been thinking about that lately because it's like, where do I want to be later in my life, as in terms of work, in terms of like accomplishing things. So it might not be like sewing, but I applied it to life. So like thinking like what comes next for me.
Oh, great pieces of advice. That's fantastic.
Let's turn to Briggs's top 5.
Yeah, a little bit similar to Ryan's. My first one is, though, it's okay to change your minds. Sometimes, you get a little bit worried about how that will look to other people. Like when I first went to college, I went to St. Ben's, and then I was like, I don't know if this is the right fit for me.
Yeah.
And so I had to really convince myself, and my family helped, that it is okay to change your mind. It's not a sign of weakness to change your mind. So that's
cool.
been a good one for me to remember. Don't worry about what others think of you. Of course, that's always a good one, and it's a good reminder too that they're probably not thinking about you as much as you think they're thinking about you. Say yes to more things. Get out and experience things, even if you're tired. You can sleep when you're dead. That's another one that should be on my list.
Yes!
Just kidding. And then my next one's live in the present. My dad always says that one. Don't think too much about, what happened in the past or what's coming up in the future, but live in the now. And hey, last one, get a dog.
I love that one.
I know. It's been the best choice, Harry. It has made my life so much better.
And a
get
bunch of other
outside.
people's.
Yeah, true.
Everyone in the newsroom, we all love Harry. That's the best thing ever. So,
what do you got on your list, Hunter?
I've got a few different ones, most from my parents. This first one's from my dad. In the midst of taking care of other people, I was always a people pleaser back like in high school. In 11th grade, he sat me down. He's like, you got to take care of yourself every once in a while too. So don't get so ahead of taking care of everybody else that you don't sit down and take care of everything that you need as well, because it all starts kind of with you. Don't be selfish, of course, but make sure that you're taking care of yourself. Assume others have the best intentions. That's my mom's favorite quote that she likes to say. If something happens to you and you might get paranoid and think that somebody intentionally meant to do you wrong or something like that, don't always assume that. Assume that they had the best intentions and that they didn't mean to do whatever they did to you. So keep that in mind. My other one also, when you mess up, laugh it off. That's a great thing for on stage. Both my parents taught me that. Importance of positivity. My mom's a very positive person, so that was all her. And then identifying your nervousness. If you are a little nervous, that's perfect. If you aren't nervous at all, that usually means that you don't care. If you're too nervous, you're not prepared. That's an old band teacher taught me that. So yeah, good advice there.
Yeah, and the cool thing is I can see that in each one of you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
We'll be right back after the break.
Welcome back. We have an awesome week coming up for you starting on Monday here. The three of us took the bridge over to Superior where we were put on skates for the first time in a long time. Our joints were pretty sore after doing this one. Yeah, just a little bit, but we figured out what it's like to roller skate again after years. I can't emphasize that enough. It's been years thanks to the folks over at World of Wheels. And then after that, Briggs and I get blindfolded. We end up sharing an awesome experience with Ryan, which also took place over in Superior. Not giving away too much, but definitely it was one of our most fun ones, I would say. We had a ton of fun doing that one. So it'll be cool to share that experience with you guys, just exactly what we did. It's a secret for now.
I'm so excited to share the World of Wheels trip.
Yeah.
I could not believe it when we got there. The camaraderie and the friendship that goes on Wednesdays at World of Wheels, I would have never known had I not set foot in there. So that was a blast, a fun story.
And I think one of the best things too about these blindfold things is one of us sets it up, we kind of give clues to like get the other person off our track. So it's like, hey guys, get ready to work out. And then you bring them to like a chess match.
Right. Yeah. My favorite is wear closed-toed shoes. That's always Ryan's advice.
Safety first. Safety first. That's out smart. There for you. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you back here next week.
Find some time to throw a line, or just head outside to unwind. That's the life in the great North Woods. Hike or bike, whatever you like. Get out in the day, enjoy the night. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, we got the life in the great North Woods. Yeah, this is Northern Life.